So working together and partnering matter to soybean farmers. Let's hear from one right now from North Central Iowa.
Hi, I'm April Hemmes. My question today is, how are the United Soybean Board and the American Soybean Association working together to make farmers like me more profitable?
So farmers may be always at work, focused on the present, but they're always looking as well a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. It's the same at the American Soybean Association, United Soybean Board. So what are we doing right now that's also forward-thinking?
Everything we do is forward-thinking, right? So the two things that come to mind immediately are new products. So we can find new products. I always call it the magic bean, Aaron. You've heard me say it a million times. Food, feed, fuel, fiber. And so a new product like the asphalt that I mentioned in our last show could be an enormous boon, could be an enormous market for soybeans. So those are the things we're always looking for at USB. Those are the things the farmers are always looking for, is what's the next huge market for soybeans that can help draw that demand.
And how are you identifying those opportunities?
Well, we have, so when we put our call for concepts out, everybody that we send our call for concepts, all of the experts in the country say, hey, we've got some great ideas. Here's what we've been thinking of. It's the creative phase of the projects.
So it's not just research that you're doing, but it's also calling on others to send you ideas or concepts.
Oh, it's the power of the community mind. It's not just what can we think of, the 4 or 5 or 73 of us. It's what are all the experts in the country saying, soy straws or soy plastics or soy asphalts, or what's top of mind? What need does the world have that soy can fill? And those are the products that are going to carry us through in the future as far as the demand pull. Of course, the other side of that is our animal customers. I dream of a time when we can grow a soybean that is specifically for chicken feed, that chickens thrive on, that their microbiome thrives on, that they are healthier on, and they're better nourished. Same with our swine customers. So in the future, when we think about what do we need to do, I think about specialized soy for specialized uses, and I think that those streams, those IP streams, could really be profitable for soybean farmers in the future.
Whether aquaculture, swine, pig, you name it, and the same applies on the ASA side as well.
It does, but I want to mention something that Polly does really good, and it's a culture that's at USB that is all about scanning. So it's to your question, how do you identify it? There's this constant scan out there to say, what are the issues that we should be, or research projects we should be engaged with, and whether it is farmer leaders serving on the board or staff, they're constantly in this scan mode, and we feel that a lot at ASA, talking to them on a regular basis. It's neat.
And how are you bringing the farmer, the expectations that farmers have into the mix? Again, we've talked about how the structure is put together, but how are you continually looking to get the farmers' ideas and the voices out there to guide where you're going as well?
Communication, constant dialogue with farmers in the countryside. We have an executive committee, we call it the governing committee at ASA, of 9 farmer leaders. We talk on a very regular basis. And when I say a regular basis, I talk to an officer almost every single day during the week of, what is the issue that's impacting you? How do we engage on trade? What is the right tone that we should have? If we're talking biodiesel, what are you hearing from your elected officials? When do you think we should go to EPA? All of these issues, it's about making sure that we're on the right page based on farmers and where they're at and what their opinion is. But it's also saying, where are the political winds shifting? And I know that seems a little weird, but you can be working on a tax provision. So if we're looking at biodiesel and we're looking at a blender's credit, we have to have that prepped. So we're talking to people on the Ways and Means Committee in the House of Representatives, which is the tax committee. And so we have to have a bill ready to go, or at least a provision ready to go, so that if a bill looks like it's going to move, we can drop this provision in and we have what we need. So it's part of how politics work, but it's talking to our farmers. Do we have the right language? Do we have the right tone in our messaging? And then working with members of Congress to make sure we can place it when it needs to be there.
And USB front as well, a very similar approach.
Very similar approach. part of my job that I love, when we talked about earlier, what do you love, is going to all these meetings that are forward-thinking meetings with all kinds of people who are thinking about vision and picking those pieces out of those meetings that USB can play in that are going to be important in the future. And so it's the same kind of thing. You have to be prepared for what's coming, right? You have to be, as I have said in the past, you have to be ahead of the puck. You can't be playing the puck where it is. You have to be playing the puck where it's going, right? And that's what both organizations, that's how we serve farmers.
A lot of Wayne Gretzky's are in the soybean industry, is what you're saying. And from for the farmer out there who's getting a better sense of where the ASA is, where the USB is, why should they want to serve? I mean, you constantly need to be churning additional leaders and directors, and maybe they say, oh, I can't take that much time, I don't know the issues well. What can you do to alleviate their concerns and make them want to step up and serve?
Well, I would say only farmers who want to serve the rest of their population and who want to make decisions on all farmers' investments, be that membership investments or be that checkoff investments, should serve. And that's probably all farmers, because who doesn't want to help their population, want to serve their community, be more profitable and more sustainable into the future? And that's exactly the kind of farmer that will do well on our board. Those visionary farmers, those ones who want to serve and have a service mentality, and who understand that they are assuring the future for their children and their children's children.
Sound like people you know?
Absolutely. It's a farmer organization. They need to be involved, and they need to run it. And every now and then they have a little fun. I think over the last year, while it has been really difficult engaging on this trade issue, there have been some lighter moments. And when Rolling Stone magazine calls your farmer leader, John Heisdorfer, here in Iowa and wants to interview him, that's kind of a unique experience that farmers are in Rolling Stone.